Accelerator Investment is a new accelerator program that we're really excited about, which is aimed at supporting the commercialization of knowledge assets from public sector research organizations. We'll talk all about what that means over the next 20 to 25 minutes. We'll aim to leave some time at the end for questions that anyone have. If you've got any questions as we go through that are absolutely burning, then feel free to put them in the chat. The team will pick them up as best they can, but we'll have time for questions at the end as well. So I thought we would start by introducing the team, both the team that are going to be looking after you on the session today, but also the team that are going to be delivering the program over the next few years. So my name is Mike Stevens. I'm the CEO and co-founder of eSpark. We are a global accelerator for entrepreneurs. A2I is our 28th accelerator over the last 14 years since we've been established. In that time, we've delivered over 102 cohorts, up to nearly 7,000 founders now across 4 continents, and supported the raise of over $500 million of funding. So we've been around the investment block a few times, you could say, from a funding perspective. We worked with everything from cookie dough to blockchain and all of the deep tech sectors in between that. The reason that we're so versatile is that we are human and business growth acceleration experts. So as well as being experts in how to support businesses to grow, we are entrepreneurial psychologists. So we're specialists in developing the mindsets and behaviors for entrepreneurs to become the founder that they need to be in order to enable their business growth. The program at the moment that we are most well known for is delivering the UK Space Agency Accelerator. So if you've seen anything about that, that's the program that we lead the delivery on. 350 startups through that over the last 4 years, nearly 100 million of funding raised, and all in various sort of verticals of deep tech. So that's us. We're the delivery partner on the program, and we'll be looking after you if you do decide to join us. My partner in crime today is Sakura from Future Planet Capital, so I will hand over to you.
Thanks very much, Mike. And hi, everyone. I'm so excited to finally be able to launch this program and share all this information with you. Just as a quick introduction, I am an investment director with Future Planet Capital. We're a London-based impact-led investment firm. We have about £460 million worth of assets under management. £115 million of that is for investing in high technology risk, really early stage innovation that's emerging from various parts of the UK. And 2 examples that I really want to shine a light on in this particular forum is things that we've actually invested in emerging from the public sector. So part of that £115 million in UK I2S is earmarked to invest in spin-outs emerging from the public sector and public sector research organizations. The first one is Sonar. This is a breast density scanner. There's an association to breast cancer, and that's linked to breast density. So there's an innovation that emerged from NPL. We invested 200K into that opportunity just over a year ago. And we worked very closely with the founding team at NPL and also with the GoTT team to figure out where that money was actually going to go to add value. And that was to develop the business case and the business proposition to create the company. And that company will hopefully emerge at some point this year. The second one is very, very exciting for us. It's a new investment we're just about to announce. So there's no name around this one, but it's in the advanced manufacturing sector. It's a new company, again, coming out of public sector. We're the lead investor in a seed round of £3 million on that, and we've got other investors joining us. The really exciting part of making these sorts of investments for us is that it gives us the opportunity to showcase what is emerging from public sector, but also to introduce these opportunities to other investors who may not necessarily be aware of the richness of innovation and research and development that's happening within public sector. They tend to steer towards universities, and we can see the real rich opportunity that's sitting within PSROs. Next slide, please, Mike. Thank you so much. So we have been working very closely in partnership with the Government Office of Tech Transfer for about 3 years now. And over that time, we've come to realize what that richness of innovation looks like and what also it takes to translate that innovation into something that's investable and commercializable. And so it's through that partnership with GOT, we've been able to make those 2 investments that I just talked about. And it's in partnership with GOT that we're also able to recognize the need for something like the Accelerate to Investment program. What we're trying to do right now is to scale what we did with Sona and with that new investment that we'll announce in a couple of weeks' time, to be able to accelerate R&D that's sitting within research organizations, accelerate commercialization of those opportunities, and also accelerate the personal growth journey for founders and innovators sitting within those organizations. So this is where, adding that additional pillar of eSpark into the equation is really exciting for us. You've heard from Mike, these are seasoned experts when it comes to creating founders and investable businesses. So we're super excited about this. Next slide. Thank you. So why accelerate to investment? Obviously, as investors, what we want to see is things emerging from public sector that are investable companies. But we recognize that, it's not necessarily an easy or straightforward thing to do, particularly, sitting within certain organizations where that may not be the main focus area. It's an important mission, and I think everyone can agree on that important mission, but there are certain steps that you need to go through to get to that point where you become an investable company and you're a comfortable founder operating within an investable company. So that's where we're really focusing this initiative. This is about creating an environment and an ecosystem where founders are actually taking those excellent research initiatives through to something that's commercializable via a spin out. Obviously, for us as a fund, we want to see a funnel of opportunities coming to us. We want to be able to make those investments. And this obviously, also is additional to the kind of things that GOT offer through Primer and some of their grant funds. And to talk a little bit more about that, I will hand over to our colleague at GOT, Rianne.
Hello and afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Rianne North and I work as part of GOT. So the aim and the role of GOT is to help kind of accelerate these government-owned knowledge assets towards the market and deliver these as new products or services to the public. So as Sakura has kind of alluded to, our public sector research organisations are generating some amazing knowledge assets at the moment with some really strong market potential and some really, a lot of interest and ambition in spinning out. But we know this journey is hard. Founders need to have a really specific mindset, as mentioned, be able to confidently engage with investors, which is why this A2I program is so sort of timely. So providing these potential founders with these very specific skill sets. So this is a pioneering program, which is specific to the public sector. So really taking into account some of, should I say, the quirks or considerations that we might have as PSROs. So to date, it's been around sort of 84 public sector spin-outs, and they've raised a whopping sort of £5.1 billion in funding. So we want to capitalise on this now, accelerate our innovations to market, and really feed into this growth agenda. So overall, sort of really excited for some of GOT's public sector research organisation clients who are ready to take that next step to participate in this programme. Thank you so much, Sakura.
Thanks, Rianne. Thanks, Sakura. I think what's fantastic about the partnership as well is that there is a real shared goal around impact. So yes, we're excited about the spin out. Yes, we're excited about the investments. But I think what gets us all out of bed in the morning is that shared purpose around the impact that some of these innovations can have on the lives of people across the world and the potential of them to make a difference as well. So yeah, lots to be excited about all the way across the program. So let's talk about that in terms of the A2I program. What is actually on offer? What's the opportunity that's in front of you? A2I is a founder accelerator on investment readiness. So it's an accelerator that's built around founders and teams, not necessarily on businesses, but on the founding team and accelerating them towards investment readiness. As Sakura said, the beauty of this program and fantastic things that's directly linked to the UK I2S Knowledge Assets Fund. So if you're successful in achieving the bar of investment readiness, there is a fund there that is tailor-made, directly ready to invest into innovations of this type, which is a fantastic thing for an accelerator to have. In terms of our focus areas for the programs, we've broken it down into 4 pillars. So from our experience of working with entrepreneurs in lots of different geographies, lots of different verticals, we've identified the 4 key pillars that we think are most appropriate in the spin out sector. I should also mention that within our background, we've run corporate innovation programs. Again, we've supported nearly 10,000 corporate innovators to develop innovations within large companies, within governments, within public sector organizations. So we've really combined that experience of startups and entrepreneurs to design the blocks of this program. So the first is entrepreneurial mindset. So this is all about how do entrepreneurs think? How do we overcome the internal barriers to growth that we put in front of ourselves, like indecision, procrastination, perfectionism, scattered focus, those sorts of things. And this is where our methods developed over the last 12 years. We've got a real specialism in enabling entrepreneurial mindsets, developing investable capability in founding teams. Second block is around strategic fit for your business. So this is the big picture, analyzing your target market and entry points. So go-to-market strategy for those in the know of the industry terminology, and also critically assessing your competitive landscape. So making sure that you understand who else is working on this problem that may not look like a competitor, but also how you're going to stay ahead of that competition. The third pillar is around winning proposition. So this is about the market demand. So are you solving a real problem for customers in a way that they'll pay for? And how are you developing your unfair advantage that is going to create a distinction that you can leverage in the market? If you've already done some work on product market fit in that sense, that's okay. What we'll do is delve deeper into it and help you to understand how you convert that into a scalable revenue model that can grow quickly. And the final pillar is around execution and credibility. So learning is important in startup land, but learning by doing is even more important. And so having the right team is essential. So we'll do lots of work on building the team and enabling you to see who you need on board, either as those first few hires or in terms of building out your exec board. And also, how do you prove to investors, for example, or customers, or internally, that you are the people who are going to take this forward and go after it and deliver? So lots of support around the execution side and building credibility. What will you actually get out of the program? So the first and our primary objective is to ensure that you are ready to approach investors by the end of the program with a good chance of success, and that covers a whole range of things. So it includes a data room. So what's the information that investors will ask for, and how do you present that to them? Obviously a pitch and a pitch deck to be able to go to market and share your story in the most compelling way possible. And then finally, a strong and scalable team, strategy, and business model. So this is not just about how do you pitch, how do you tell the story to investors. It's about building those fundamentals of the business that will make it investable, but also that will make it grow and succeed aside from the investment that you'll raise. So we're not just working in the investment space, we're working on the what will make it a strong and scalable business. How are we going to do that? Well, A2I includes rich and deep support across a number of different areas. So the first and the core element of the program is one-to-one engagement. We know that every founder is different, every startup is different, every spin-out is different, everyone has different needs. So a lot of the program is built around bespoke one-to-one interventions for you as a founding team. So that will include regular growth enablement with the eSpark team. So my enablement team will meet with you on a regular basis to help you identify the barriers in front of you, what's going to stop you from growing or going faster or becoming investable, and help you to break down those barriers. We've also partnered with Mark Roberts, entrepreneur in residence. So Mark co-founded a company, grew it to 80 million in revenue and 250 employees, and then exited to a large global corporate. And he now spends his time supporting startups, but also large organizations and government to be more successful, to innovate better, and to raise funding. So Mark will be offering network connections and advice from his journey as a startup and scale-up founder, having walked the walk. He'll be helping you to avoid those pitfalls that you just can't see in front of you if you've never started a business before, and also connecting you with great people who can support you on your journey. Next pillar is accelerated learning. So all of our accelerated learning will fit into the 4 themes that I mentioned a few minutes ago. So entrepreneurial mindset, strategic fit, winning proposition, and execution and credibility. So we've got a suite of learning tools that we'll deliver around those areas to give you everything that you need in order to start executing really well. So it's going to start with a 2-day bootcamp on the 24th and 25th of March. And then we'll have 3 in-person workshops that will enable us to build on that learning, consolidate it through what you've learned in action, and continue to accelerate the platform for growth. Next is investment readiness. So lots of focus on that, obviously, as an investment readiness program. So you'll have frequent expert-led pitch practice. So pitching in front of investors to be able to get feedback and continue to hone your storytelling. We'll give you direct engagement on proposition development and team building. So again, it's that underlying strength of business, strength of proposition that is not just about the pitch, but what are the proof points? What's your deeper understanding of the different elements behind the pitch? And then finally, we'll provide a demo day. So we're going to bring together the investment community led by UK A2I, led by Future Client Capital, to a demo day where the cohort will pitch, and hopefully we'll get some conversations going with the aim of finding someone to lead your round, but also to complete the round as well. And then finally, that execution focus. So in terms of what that looks like in delivery, there's regular accountability in the program. So we'll help you set goals, focus on them, and hit those goals. And we'll check in on those regularly to help you to make rapid progress. We've got a really wide and diverse ecosystem as well. So we've got mentors, we've got legal experts, we've got recruitment experts, we've got grant funding experts. There's all sorts of experts from our existing accelerator ecosystem that we're really keen to bring to this program. So if we identify in one-to-one that you need a particular type of support, we'll aim to connect you with the right person who can help you unlock that goal. And then finally, over the course of the program, we'll help you to build a target investor list. So when you're raising investment, and some of you may know this already, you can't just rely on demo day, and you don't just turn up to demo day and start writing checks. It's a process and a journey. So we'll help you to identify a target investor list of people who are likely to be interested in your proposition, so that you're approaching the right people and not just taking a kind of scattergun approach and hoping for the best, because that will give you the best chance of completing your round. So if all of that sounds good, how do you go about applying? Well, in order to apply for A2I, you need to be working on an innovation with commercial potential. So it has to be something that someone external to government will potentially want to buy. The innovation itself has to originate from a qualifying public sector research organisation, and you can find out more information about that on the website that we'll share at the end. Innovation in this sense, it can mean IP, technology, research, but it could also be a process or know-how or anything else that could be commercialised. So you don't have to have IP already in place to apply for the programme. You need to be actively pursuing commercialisation via spin-out. So you don't need to have made that decision 100%, but at least for it to be the preferred route. And even if you're not quite clear on the business model yet, if you don't exactly know how you're going to commercialize this, at least if it's your primary primary goal. If you're still thinking, well, I've got an idea, but I don't really know what to do with it, I don't know if it's commercial or licensing or just for internal government use, you may be a little bit early, and we'll signpost you to some of the other fantastic support that's on offer via GOT. You also need to have an interest in raising investment. Obviously, a lot of the program is driven around getting you investment ready. The idea is to accelerate you at pace towards that milestone. So if you're not interested in raising investment at all, if you completely ruled it out, there's a significant portion of the program that you won't be able to benefit from. And so having an interest in raising investment is a really important criteria. In terms of dates, the two key dates that you need to be available for to start with are the 24th and 25th of March. All the key dates will be on the website in terms of availability, but to be available for bootcamp on the 24th and 25th of March, and ongoing commitment of at least 1 day per week. Now, that's not 1 day that you'll spend in the program. Typical program commitment will be 1 to 2 hours per week on average, but we want to make sure that you've got time to work on the business, work on the proposition, and do the work outside of the program engagement. If you are in the day job 5 days a week, then it's going to be really hard for you to accelerate towards the milestones that we're talking about. So having some capacity to be able to work on the commercialization journey. And up to three founders can join. We're really happy to work with co-founding teams. In fact, that's sometimes the most important work that we can do, is helping to understand founder dynamics and roles and responsibilities and everything else. So we've deliberately kept the eligibility criteria quite wide, so that we can welcome a wider range of participants into the program. Process-wise, applications will open tomorrow, and they'll be open for just over 4 weeks through to the 27th of February. There's a simple application form covering some key business areas. If you've got a reasonable handle on your idea right now, the application form should take you about 10 to 15 minutes. If you need to think about it a bit more, it should maybe take you 20 to 30. So it's not something that's going to absorb your whole life or days and days of time over the next few weeks. If your application is successful, we'll invite you to an interview where we'll ask for a short pitch, and then we'll ask you some questions about the areas of your application that we'd like to delve into in more depth. And then finally, before commencement, we'll need a letter of support from a senior leader in your organization to support your participation in the program. And that's to make sure, obviously, that the work that we're doing in the program is going to be well received by the organization, and there is a chance of progressing forward past the end of the program. So that is a very quick whistle-stop tour through A2I. I hope it's helped to bring it to life for some of you. If you have any questions, then now is the time. We've got about 5 minutes left on the call. You're welcome either to drop them in the chat, and we'll try and answer them out loud, or if you would like to just put your hand up on Teams and you come off mute, then you can ask them in person. I'll just give a minute or so for people to think of any questions and put them in the chat. But in the meantime, Sakura, is there anything that you would like to add or emphasize from what I've talked about, just while people have a bit of a think?
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I think the one thing I just wanted to add to everything that Mike's been saying in terms of that focus towards investment, focus towards company creation is really important. But I think what we're also cognizant of is that company creation does not happen in 5 or 6 months, right? And founder development does not happen in 5 or 6 months. What we're going to aim to give you in the course of the program is all of the tools that you need and all the playbook that you're going to need to create that company. It could be that you're well on the journey in that 6 months, and then it takes you another 3 or 4 months or even 6 months to actually get to that company creation, get all of the necessary approvals internally, and get investment ready. But the 5 months that you're in A2I is that sort of concentrated learning and focused development of that business proposition.
Great, thank you. We've got a question from Christian around the difference between this program and Primer. So in terms of the where the different programs sit, and Rian may be able to add to this as well. Primer, we would say, is for the earlier stage research, earlier stage research, where that market exploration, is there a real commercial opportunity for this? Which pathway do I take? Where are we headed with this? A2I is for if you've maybe explored that a bit and established that there is a path towards, or you think there is a path towards commercialization, and you're looking to accelerate that journey. That's where A2I would sit. Rian, do you want to come in and add to that?
Yeah, no, I think you've explained the sort of differences between that really well. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, so just to kind of clarify, Primer is more towards the kind of exploring the market validation, whether that be commercialization via licensing, spinning out, whatever, and to gain that initial understanding. Whereas then A2I focuses more on, okay, you're deciding to move towards spinning out. This is what we really need to do in order to make this happen.
Thank you. Sorry, I think I slipped back into saying primer, didn't I? I'm trying to get myself out of that habit. Primer. Alex, you've got your hand up. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Excuse me. Yes, I work in an NHS research setting, and I wondered, is there scope within this program for entrepreneurs coming from an NHS setting, particularly given that translation of healthcare and medical innovations is often more complex?
I'm going to hand that one to Rian, if that's okay.
That's okay. Sorry, I've got a bit of sun shining right in my eye there. That's a really good question. Thank you, Alex. So at the moment, the scheme is open to organisations which are classed as public sector research establishments or organisations. So I've just popped a link in the chat, so do take a look at that, and that will give you a list of the full set of organisations which are eligible to apply. My understanding is that NHS organisations don't fall under that category, but maybe there's something that we can discuss offline around how or where you might be able to find such support elsewhere.
Yes, if you want to drop us an
Thank you.
email, Alex, there's an email address on the slide, and I'm about to share a QR code as well. And we're happy to either identify fully if we can help you, and if we can't, then we're very happy to help to signpost you to any other organisations that might be able to.
Great, thank you.
Are there any other questions? No, I think we're all good. Okay, so I'm going to very quickly put up a QR code for anyone who would like to register their interest or apply. The QR code is on the screen, so feel free to scan that. I'm going to leave that up for anyone who wants to scan, who's still fumbling to unlock their phone or anything else. And in the meantime, if there are no other questions, I don't think anyone else has raised their hand or put anything in the chat. So thank you very much to everybody for joining us. We hope you're excited about as excited about the A2I program as we are. We think there is a huge opportunity here that the public sector or research organizations that we've seen create some world-class, world-leading, phenomenal innovations, and we think there's so much more that we can do with them. So really excited to be involved in this, and we'll look forward to seeing all of your applications.